Come on, give me that chain.
Next up, Zono Sports on IG isn't happy with what the guys had to say about Jimmy Butler.
Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, it's time to keep it real. Jimmy Butler is no poor man's LeBron James. He's a guy that can do it on the offensive end as well as the defensive end, and as well close late in the game, something LeBron could not do with Dwayne Wade in Miami. So isn't Dwayne Wade maybe a little bit relieved that he can take some of that onus off of his shoulders and trying to close the game out? I think so.
Max, are you disrespecting Jimmy Buckets?
I thought at first he meant he's no poor man's LeBron James. He doesn't pass the ball like LeBron. He can't lead a team like LeBron. I love Jimmy Butler. I'm a huge fan of his. If you're taking exception to calling him a poor man LeBron James because he's better than that, calm down. Calm all the way down.
Max, you missed it. The big story in that video is that no one can talk about my hairline anymore. Did you see that hairline? Did you see that hairline?
He got an
I
8
mean, my
What are you
goodness.
saying?
They can't say anything. They can't say anything about my hairline's fine after all. I didn't even know. I didn't know.
Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. 100 times a charm, don't be alarmed. We always talk sports, but today's a little bit different report. This is the Zono Sports Show. I am your host, Zo. And with it being my 100th episode of Zono Sports, give me a round of applause. I would definitely like to take the time to give you another transparent side of myself about who I am, my passion for sports, where it came from, and so on. I started the show on August 22nd, 2016 last year, and this was all because I wanted to take time to be more overt about my love for sports in general. That's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, tennis, golf, you name it. I love sports. I love everything that sports is about. Now, first, let's not act like I didn't see that fight this weekend between Mayweather and McGregor. Mayweather's now 50-0. Yeah, everybody, all the Mayweather fans, they're clapping their hands. They're very excited and they appreciate the show that Mayweather put on in the late rounds to defeat Conor McGregor by technical knockout. It was stopped by the ref in the 10th round. Now, Floyd, I like this fight because it was much more entertaining than that waste of money that we spent back in 2015 on the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. We sat around, watched the Kentucky Derby, and then we're bored at 12 midnight because we saw two guys hug each other for an hour. So, Floyd, in this fight, I liked it because he had to fight a very different fight. Everybody knows that Floyd predominantly prefers to be a defensive-style fighter. However, in this fight against Conor McGregor, because McGregor brought the fight to him and was different, Floyd had to take the fight to McGregor and become more of an offensive fighter. Now, Conor presented himself well, and he promoted the UFC. This was great exposure for the UFC to show that those mixed martial artists have skills that are prevalent and can be used in multiple arenas, including the boxing arena, not just the octagon. So that was a great showing for MMA. Dana White even said after the fight, they asked him, do you see Conor McGregor participating in another boxing bout here soon? And Dana White answers, I hope he stays MMA. Because a lot of people are saying that because of the wobbly juice that Conor had left in his legs, he could have been put on the canvas and knocked out if the ref didn't intervene in the first place. Now, I think Conor McGregor could have continued because of the fact that there are gloves involved. Yes, he was wobbly, but MMA rules state that a man has to really be knocked out. Now, that may not be the most 100% accurate description of the rule, but from what I've seen in UFC, you got to be knocked out or submitted for a victory to go to the other opponent. Now, in saying that, I get that it's boxing rules and they feel like the man could not defend himself, so the referee did what was best for Conor and his reputation by saving him from a knockout. But a masterful performance by Floyd. People are saying that was a little bit sloppy. He looked old, but he still did get the job done. So you have to take your hat off to Floyd Mayweather on that one. Now, kudos to Conor McGregor as well. He landed 111 punches, more than Floyd's last 5 opponents. So that in itself tells me that Conor McGregor is onto something. He's a very skilled fighter. I love his brashness. I love all the smack talk that led up to the fight. They gave us a lot of entertainment outside of the ring and inside of the ring. So this was all worth our money. What was the fight? $100? $99.99? Sheesh. But great fight in general. I hope Floyd does not come back into the ring because he can't handle a Terrence Crawford. And I'd hate to see what Lomachenko does to him. I would hate to see that. Now, back to why I started this show, Zono Sports. when did Zoe begin to know that he wanted to talk about sports? I can answer that question for you. Now, at the age of 11 years old, I walked up to my old man and I exclaimed, "Dad, I love sports." And he says, well, he was like, "That's good." But he said, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I was in the 6th grade. And I told him, I said, "Dad, honestly, I'd like to grow up and talk about sports for a living and chill." So anytime I get to talk about sports in this fashion, it's relaxing for me. It's therapeutic. It gives me something to look forward to. I enjoy doing this show because, yes, the views don't necessarily matter. 10 views, 20 views, 50 views, 1,000 views. It's about talking sports, something that I have an enjoyment for, that brings me life, that fulfills my life, and being able to do it in my own unique way. I like the fact that I can put my own stamp on my content. I can give you guys a little bit of my personality and exude confidence when I talk about this stuff because I'm just chilling at the crib. So how could I be nervous? So I do like that aspect of it. And also, sports are the consummate example of real life struggles. Day-to-day life, we go through things. We have obstacles. Sports are just a small fraction of a window that we can see into the human spirit, into the human character. It forces people to look deep within themselves when faced with adversity in the sport or in a competition of some sort, to overcome a deficit, overcome the odds. Even though they say you're out of it, you may not be out of it based on the heart that you display. And you can always come back as long as the clock never says zero. And I think that's, as long as you're still living and breathing in life, as long as the clock never strikes zero and you're still walking around, you can always take things and change them and turn them around. So that's one of the greatest qualities that I love about sports is the way it evokes the human spirit. So that's my take on why I started to love sports. Now, another thing that I like to talk about is you guys might ask, "Oh, I've been doing this show a whole year since last August. What is my highlight for the year?" Now, people who watch the show, ESPN First Take, I was on there twice. Last November, they had a contest, First Take, Your Take. I submitted videos. They pulled one of my video entries and actually played it on air. That was a great experience for me. This past April, Stephen A. tried to go ahead and take shots at my hairline, said mine is worse than his. I still don't believe him. But that was great exposure as well, to just be on ESPN First Take and be highlighted and have Zono Sports right there on a major platform, a major network where people could say, "Hey, that's his Instagram. Let me go check it out, at Zono Sports." That was a great experience. However, my favorite moment of the year by doing this show was being on College Game Day here in Louisville when Florida State came and played Louisville and Lamar Jackson had all the hype and he put up 60 on Florida State. Me and my lady went out there at 2 a.m. in the morning and we stayed and we had to wait through rain. We had to wait through lines and crowds of people, but somehow, some way, we managed to make our way to the front of the game day pit, got a lot of giveaways. We got hats, gloves, and everything else, and we were able to experience the real College Game Day. We were right up front, and I actually got my sign on TV, and people were calling me, hey, Zoe, I see your show. I see Zono Sports on ESPN right now. That in itself helped me realize that the dream I'm chasing is attainable. And that was also a pilgrimage to my late father. So being able to do that whole College Game Day experience was great. And if they come this year, I'm out there again. Oh, well, forget it. They might be here September 16th for Clemson. Hopefully they are. I'll be there. Now, another question that you guys might want to ask me: why do I love football the way that I do? Well, the opportunities that it's afforded me throughout this lifetime. My dad coached college football 17 years. Louisville, Kansas, Eastern Michigan, Murray State, Knoxville College, Morehead State, Texas Southern University, and so on. He coached defense, was a defensive end and linebackers coach, also D coordinator. Now, my passion for football comes from him, as well as high school. I played for the best high school team that ever was, the 2007 and 2008 North Cobb Warriors. Boy, we had a lot of Division I signees, and we were ballers. I could name down the line. We had a guy that was supposed to play for the Texas Rangers. JT, Jonathan Taylor, also OD, Oliver Davis, Calvin Middleton, Matt Rourke, Dante Sawyer, Brian Presme, Rashad Washington, Matt Britton, Mike Frankowski. I can go on and on. Jarvis West, myself. We had a lot of guys on that team who, Ethan Allman as well. I can't forget Ethan Allman. I went against him every day in practice. He made me a much better football player because he was hard on me. But we had a lot of guys on that team who went on to do great things and went on to great schools. Nnamdi Zinwa went to Purdue. Nick Burton played soccer at Clemson. He was our kicker. We had a lot of great players on that team, and that really made me feel as though football was definitely the right sport that I chose. College football at Howard University, I was there my freshman year when Obama was elected president in 2008. That was amazing and spectacular considering the fact that I was at a historically black college and university. Then I transferred to finish at Georgetown College. Now, there I met some of my closest friends. Andrew Finneson, shout out to Finn. What's up, big dog? And also Beam, Bosch, Law Dog. I could go down the list. Triple Davis. I could go Darius Gates. I could go up and down the list. So Georgetown was a great place for me. But football's allowed me to meet so many people and connected me to so many different communities and cultures and experiences. That's why I love the sport of football. And also, 3 things that you didn't know about Zoe. My favorite drink, Arnold Palmer, he's got his own. What's it? The lemonade and the iced tea, the sweet tea. Mine, Dr. Pepper and lemonade. So if you don't know that about me, if you can't tell me that, if you can't comment on here and say that you love Dr. Pepper and lemonade, then you don't know Zoe. But that is definitely my favorite drink. Also, T. Martin was a dream made real. Those of you who know me know that I'm an avid Tennessee Vols fan, but I try to be very objective on this show. However, T. Martin coaching at North Cobb High School as a quarterbacks coach my senior year was amazing. My dad actually made me go to bed at the 1998 National Championship game, and it made me very upset because I thought to myself, I'm a big boy, I should be able to stay up. But he made me go to sleep. So I was pretty upset about that. But at the same time, I got to kind of relive that whole experience for a whole year by having Coach Martin on our staff. So that in itself was amazing. But I definitely have one more fact for you guys. Sorry about that. One other thing you don't know about me, hate scary movies. I still don't like them. Haven't liked them since I was a kid. Don't like the dark like that. I mean, I'm not scared. I'll go out in it. I play football games in the dark. But a scary movie on the late night, I am cool with it. I'm good. I don't have to see it. I'll watch it. But I'll be on pins and needles the entire time for the duration of the film. So if you have a scary movie, don't put it on if you're with me. Sorry. Now, also, one thing you ought to know about me is I grew up in Atlanta. We love to have a good time. We love to party. Now, which group of athletes would I hang out with on a Saturday night if I had my choice? Well, I choose Mookie Betts because he's so smooth with that bat, and he's a chill guy, and he rocks Jordans when he plays baseball. So I'm pretty sure he's got a little swag. He's gonna uplift our crew and upgrade us. And they're gonna say, "Who's this guy with these baseball cleats on? These Jordan cleats." So definitely Mookie Betts. Steph the Chef Curry. Steph the Chef. I love a lot of the stuff he does off the court. He does extra things like golfs, he cooks. He seems like a guy with varied interests who I definitely would have to link up with. Marshawn Lynch could be in my crew. I saw Man vs. Wild, I think with him and Bear Grylls, and the whole time he's like, "Oh, no, blood. But he's somebody from the block I would definitely chill with. He reminds me of an old Memphis cousin that I might have. My whole family's from Memphis. And then lastly, Conor McGregor. That may be surprising to you. You may say, "Oh, Zoe's just a fan. That's why he chose him to win the fight." No, I chose him to win the fight because I felt like he could knock Floyd out. But that's not what happened. But Conor McGregor's personality, he seems like a very genuine guy, someone who loves to have fun and doesn't mind mixing it up a little bit if some crazy stuff happens while we're out. Somebody bumps me in the club, I can just tap Conor and say, "This guy's messing with me." So I really would enjoy hanging out with that whole crew of people: Mookie Betts, Steph Curry, Marshawn Lynch, and Conor McGregor. That would be my squad on a Friday night, starting 5, me and the boys. Now, I want to close out today with what is my motivation for doing Zoe Knows Sports. Now, those of you who know me know that my father passed away from cancer in 2015, January 13th, 2015, and boy, I miss him. We were very, very close. Sports is something that we enjoyed. We like staying up late and watching Chuck and Kenny and the boys on TNT after basketball games. But my dad, he was really a great man. And so me doing this whole thing, I always told him that I wanted to work for ESPN, and I would get there. And I thought to myself last year, what can I do? You know, my job right now, I'm not in media. I work a normal 9 to 5, but this is something I do for fun, something I enjoy. And I thought to myself, what can I do to set myself apart, even though I'm not in media? I don't have a media job. Well, Zoe, you have to make your own show. That's why I did it. And my father, Coach Glenn the Bull Jones, I think he would be proud of me just because of the small things that I've done this year. Not just the views, but just the way I put myself out there and chase my dream ferociously. It's an undying passion that I have for these things that I talk about each day. So in closing, I definitely would like to share something with y'all a little bit more personal. On January 13th of this year, 2017, I wrote a letter to my father. And I'd like to read that to you guys today before we close out. It's been 2 years now since you went to be with the Lord, Coach Jones. With each passing day, I feel further and further away from you physically. The smell of your clothes becomes dimmed by the atmosphere and reality of time. My memories of times with you become more vivid and thought-provoking. The bond that I had with you becomes further ingrained inside my soul as though it is a tattoo that cannot be removed. This past Monday, I placed your jacket on the couch while I watched Deshaun Watson take home a national championship against Nick Saban. It was a phenomenal game, old man. I wish we could have watched the national championship together how we always have. I remember watching the Ohio State versus Miami game with you in the basement 15 years ago. We thought it was amazing how those Buckeyes took down the mighty Canes. I still think about all those car rides to my elementary school in the morning. We would listen to It's Your World on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Ha ha. You loved mimicking Redbone's voice, and it was so funny to me, old man. We would listen to Biggie Smalls, and you would tell me not to tell Mom that I knew what Big Papa meant. Lastly, I remember my first heartbreak by a girl. As the years passed, we joked about it, but that night meant more to me than you will ever know. I screamed and cried aloud because I had never experienced the pain of losing someone you love. I thought you would yell back and tell me to be a man. You didn't do that at all. I flopped onto the couch and you held me like a small child in your arms, telling me over and over that it was okay. I remember thinking to myself, man, my dad's just a tough football coach. He is my daddy. He's not just a football coach, and will always see me as his little boy. That night you made me feel strong, and I've never forgotten it as long as I lived. Dad, I miss you when I brush my teeth and when I take out the trash. I miss you when I'm lying by myself watching SportsCenter or just working out in the gym. I still think about you when I drive long distances and become road weary. I miss you when I walk into work every day and sit at my desk. I miss those big old hands that you used to slap against mine and make me feel like a shrimp. Most of all, I miss your smile, your laugh, and the times you would call just to say, "What's up, Zodog?" You'll always have my respect, my honor, and my best, sir. I love you, old man, and so does Malcolm, which is my brother. Love your son, Glenn Alonzo Jones Jr. Rip Glenn Jones, November 30th, 59 to January 13th, 2015. Well, I really appreciate you all watching my 100th episode. I will be back to talk with you all after Labor Day. Look forward to doing that. That show may be on Wednesday. Just depends on travel. I'd like to deliver it to you guys Tuesday. Thank you for watching the Zono Sports Show. Make sure you watch some college football this weekend. You got that opener, Alabama and Florida State, and a host of other games. I'm going to watch that. I'll be in Kansas, though. But thank you guys for checking out the 100th episode of Zono Sports, and I hope that I am able to bring you another fantastic, turned up, wild out 100th episodes. So, in saying that, thank you for watching Where You Know Zono.